Hey guys, Eric with Blue Line Fishing. Welcome back to the channel. Your time's important to me as always. And what we're going to do in today's time is we're going to go old school bluegill fishing. What I mean by that is hook, bobber, ultralight gear. Try and get after those hard fighting bluegill. It's the way I was introduced to the sport way back when. This is how I started fishing, was just, hook, bobber, live bait for bluegill, red ear, crappie and such. And that's what we're going to do today, is try and go get a mess of bluegill to fry up. But more than that, I'm going to show you guys my gear set up, and some fishing action along the way. I think you guys will enjoy this. Stick with me. We'll get with it. So guys, before we get going here today, I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown of what my setup is for bluegill fishing. You can use whatever you like, because it is definitely not a hard type of fishing to do. Basically anything will work, but this is just what works for me, so I'll show you guys. First, I've got an ultralight rod, just a small little 5'6" ultralight loose speed stick. I've got my ultralight reel here, 4-pound test line. I like to use fluorocarbon lines because it's got less visibility in the water. And then as far as the terminal tackle end of it goes, I like to use a weighted bobber. Give you guys kind of a closer look at that right there. And the reason I use a weighted bobber is it gives me more casting distance. That way I can get back underneath some trees or beds when I find them. I don't have to get up on top of them. I can cast kind of a country mile with this weighted bobber. Then I go to a very small split shot here. Just enough to get that cricket is what I'm using today, live crickets down, or you can use red worms or wax worms, whatever it is you want. I think in the summertime especially, that crickets are my favorite live bait to use when I do panfish. And then the last thing is this really small, see if you guys can look at here, number 8 true turn hook. They don't make true turns anymore. Well, they do, but I think Eagle Claw actually bought them out. But I bought a ton of them back in the day. I mean, I've got hundreds of them kind of saved up. They're my favorite hook. It looks all bent up and janked up, but it's not. It's that way by design. But anyway, I like a number 8 hook. Number 6 for crappie, but I like a number 8 for bluegill and red ear. So that's a setup. Really easy. Live crickets or whatever live bait you want to put on it. And let's get to it. That's a good bluegill. That's a good one. Smells like a better bluegill. Running like one. Good little keeper. It's truly got that bluegill look to it. Nice bluegills, orange belly, pumpkin green sides to it. That's why you fish those jigs that look like bluegill. The oranges, the browns, the greens, the blues in it. Definitely a nicer bluegill I've got in this spot here. So guys, this is what I'm looking for in a bluegill as far as a good eating size right here. I'll keep them a little bit smaller too, because I can flay them up, it's no problem. But one that's like this, basically wider than the width of my hand, and I've got big hands, that's what we're wanting. So that's a really nice, healthy bluegill, fantastic size to fry up. So guys, I'm going to try and show you here how I usually like to try and hook a cricket. I mean, it's a simple thing, but so they don't come off all the time. I never hook them through the abdominal cavity or the head. That chest plate that's right there, or breastplate, whatever you want to call it, I hook them right through that little hard chest plate, and then they stay on as well as they can, because they're pretty delicate, so they come off pretty easy. But that's usually how I try and hook one up every time. And where I'm fishing here, I found a lot of bluegill shallow. Obviously this is middle towards the end of July, so we've got them up shallow, 1.5 to 3 foot of water. But I found a lot of smaller fish. I had to weed through a lot of smaller fish this morning to get some nice ones. And I do have a live well full of nice ones here, but I found that I had to back out about 4 to 5 feet of water is where I'm finding the deeper ones. So when I find those shallow fish like this spot here, 1.5 to 3 foot of water, I'm backing out the 4 or 5 feet of water, 5.5 feet of water, set my bobber a little bit deeper, and that's where I'm finding those bigger bluegill. And found some bigger red ear like that too, but mainly the bluegill is what I'm targeting this morning, and that's where I found them in that little bit of a break where the shore starts to drop off into that little bit of deeper water. That's a fat That's a nice big bluegill right there. That's what we're looking for. I mean, it's wider than my hand. Big, nice, fatty, big bull. Now that is a big fat bluegill right there. That's what I want to see. Look how pretty that is. See if I can lay him out in the hand without even fitting anything. Look at that. Really nice bluegill. Looks like him. That's good eating right there. You know, the way I like to grab these, I grab by the head and lays that dorsal fin down, get a nice grip on them so they don't spin in your hand, end up finning you because that really sucks. And then pop that hook out. And it is. Right there. Guys, we've had a good morning out here on the water. Caught some bluegill, some red ear, even some bass mixed in there. Several really nice bluegill and red ear are in there too. If you want to check out how to clean bluegill, personally I like to use electric fillet knife. For me it's more efficient, a little bit quicker. I've got a video for that. I'll leave a link down in the description for that video. But once again, I'll just kind of go over the setup I had. You know, that ultralight rod and reel, just a small float, small split shot, number 6 or number 8 hook. Nothing big, nothing oversized. You can still catch fish, you know, if you got stuff that's oversized, but the thing about it, if you use the smaller gear, I think you're going to get more bites, you're going to catch more fish, and I think bigger fish in the long run. And remember too, you find those small fish in that shallower water, that 1 to 3 foot range, move out there where you're 4, 5, 6 foot or even deeper, because I think a lot of times in the summer, like we are right now, those bigger fish tend to sit a little deeper in the water column, behind those smaller fish that are shallower. They may move up in early morning or evening, but for the most part, I think they stay a little bit deeper. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember, until the next video, get out there and fish.